Hey guys, this is Caspi with Tape, and today you join me for a kind of a different kind of video, sort of along the lines of my old dumb inventions videos, because as you've probably guessed from the title, I built something stupid, which is a boat, as you can see by the fact that it is on water right now, and we're walking around the deck with Jebediah Kerman with this fancy new RCS pack, which I didn't know they added in the new version, but it looks really cool. Oh no, that's a little backpack. Oh, it's a parachute. Oh, well, that's what it is. Anyway, yes, you can see by the railings and the sort of boat-looking boatness, it's totally a boat. And it does move on water, as you can see here. Once we fire up the engines, which you may be able to, well, you've probably guessed from the title, but yeah, they're rapier engines. They're not great for boats, but they're great for what this boat can do. Anyway, so yeah, demonstrating its sailing ability, you can actually get a little look at some of the control surfaces you wouldn't traditionally see on a boat, like the tail fins and elevators and roll control things, because this is also, of course, a plane. But not only is it just a plane, it is a car. It is a jack of all traits. I was like, you know what'd be cool? I'm sailing on my boat, and then I gotta get out and get in my car to drive over to my plane. What if the boat was the car, and the boat was the plane? And then I made a video. And now we can see it, getting ready to leave the ocean and go onto land with its back wheels. Yes, it has a plane wheel in the front, and two normal wheels in the back, two rover wheels in the back, which makes it a car. It does need the engines to get up this hill, but once it has and is on flat ground, it can drive around, albeit pretty slowly. Now this is fully stock. I was gonna use some infernal robotics for like extending some wings out and putting wheels down, but wings and infernal robotics do not go well together. It is just a mess when you try and fly a plane which has infernal robotics parts attached to its wings, and that's a shame, but still, now it's fully stock, so I'm pretty happy. And it is not a great car, as you'll see here, where all the wheels break as I go up a hill. So yeah, it takes a little getting used to, and so now that I've broken the wheels, I thought, fuck it, plane mode. Although the problem with that is I'm actually missing one of the rear elevators, so that's going to be a problem. So yeah, this was more of a first attempt at controlling this vehicle. Not the first attempt at the vehicle, by the way. This is like version 6. It's really hard to make a boat, a plane, and an SSTO, and a car. It's stupid. Anyway, you can actually see I've extended the other landing gear there, because you know, rover wheels aren't great for taking off. And as it turns out, not the runway isn't great for taking off either, as I try and pull up, but the wheels kind of block me and start exploding, and then one of the engines explode, and then I do take off, but then it's not looking great for this plane, and we start to lose control. But obviously, you know, we're expert pilots here. I'm clearly a professional at my job. I built a plane, boat, car SSTO. That's all of them, yep. Although SSTO and plane are pretty much synonymous in KSP, so just plane, boat, SSTO. Anyway, yeah, so with all my mad skills, I bring it in for a landing, and we line up with the ground, and then roll too much the other way, and then crash into the ground and explode. So yeah, I'm gonna try again. So yeah, I try again. And just coming out the water again, but it's really fun to see this, like, come out of the water. One of the old versions that does use infernal robotics has like descendable wheels, but that doesn't really work very well either. And I thought in the end, once I couldn't use infernal robotics for the wings, I wanted it to be all stock, because then it seems like more of an achievement when you don't use mods. And of course, the boat is made out of wing surfaces, so it's not exactly like I need extra wings to fold out anyway. So yeah. Anyway, with a little more caution, this does work pretty well as a car. I mean, I had a bit of a running start, but it can travel at about 20 meters per second after a lot of acceleration. Well, a long time of acceleration. And it can actually get up a hill if you slow down enough, as we see here. And just get up there, and it just about makes it over the hill. I was worried here it would roll back down, but it does just about make it. It also bounces quite a lot because of all of the suspension and the fact that it weighs about 70 tons. But anyway, then I take it for a bit of a jolly around the Space Center, have a little bit of a drive in my boat, plane, SSTO, car. I should come up with a better name for it. it's not particularly fast. It's pretty maneuverable, but I have sped up the footage here just because it's kind of painful to watch if you don't. But yeah, I just try and stick to the roads a little bit, see how maneuverable it is, and I have to say, it's a pretty good car. I use the term car loosely. I guess it's more like a truck. But it doesn't, well, you could, I was going to say it doesn't carry anything, but you could put stuff on the deck. In fact, I bet you could land a helicopter on this. It's also an aircraft carrier, but that won't fit in the title, so we're just going to stick with whatever the hell I call this video. That'll be a fun job. Anyway, after a bit of driving, it's time to show off the pièce de résistance. The fact that it goes all the way to space and orbit by itself. Yeah, it's a boat, it's a plane, it's a car, and it's an SSTO. So, yeah, we're going to take off here. And it does take off on the runway, I believe, if you're a little careful and, you know, use those wheels. Those wheels at the back also serve as a way not to break the engines. Now, you'll notice there's 5 engines. Initially, I wanted it just to be like 3, so the center of mass would be all, like, aligned with the center of thrust. But this weighs about 70 tons, as I said, so you need quite a lot of engines to get through the sound barrier. It's also not super aerodynamic because it's a boat. Which is also why there's no like bow to it, because I tried to make one out of metal so that it wouldn't lift weirdly, but the drag was so high it couldn't break the sound barrier. So I've had to make some compromises. Honestly, this isn't the coolest version of the boat SSTO that I thought it was, but it does work, and it is a boat, it looks kind of like a boat, and it is a plane, and it does drive, so I'm pretty happy. Anyway, the thing with SSTOs in KSP now is pretty much when you're using Rapier engines, you just have to get up to 400 meters per second, then their thrust increases like crazy, and you can just freaking go to space. And that's the really hard part, like breaking the sound barrier and getting up to about 400 meters per second. But if you take this kind of profile, even if you're flying a boat, it pretty much works if you have enough thrust. So yeah, that's also why this vehicle starts with like way less than maximum fuel, because it's really like temperamental. I added a few extra things to make it a little cooler, and it was like, I'm not going to space anymore. So yeah, but I gotta say, I mean, a boat on fire 30 kilometers in the air, looking pretty cool. I'm liking this. Anyway, we've switched over to rocket mode now. You do have to turn off the bottom engines on this for rocket mode, otherwise the thrust does get too, like, it's too far below the center of mass and it flips backward. It's fine when you're in jet mode because you're in the lower atmosphere and the air's holding you in place. We're not so much on the edge of space. Anyway, we pretty easily got our apoapsis up above 70 kilometers with quite a lot of fuel to spare, and we should be able to get into orbit, which is pretty nice. Now, another concession I made is you'll notice the bridge isn't that shippy. I wanted like a big cupola bridge that looked kind of like a tower on a ship, but that had too much drag. The real problem with this whole project was just drag. The infernal robotics parts, all the wheels, all the just stupid bullshit I put on there, it just creates too much drag. But here we are in orbit with something that looks, I think, reasonably quite a bit like a boat, at least the kind of ship you would see in KSP, you know, just a box that has a point at the front and a slightly smaller point at the back. I mean, that's how we did Fall of Kerbal, and that worked out great. And once we're in space, you can actually get a good look at the underneath. It's all just fuel tanks and engines and some RTGs, and then around it is just some wings, which are great because that makes it look like a boat-ish and also allows it to fly-ish. So yeah. But there is one more trick up this boat car SSTO's sleeve. It's also a planetary lander and rover, of course, because it's a car. Or van or truck, whatever I don't know, land cruiser. But yeah, it is, of course, able to land on other planets, or at least like moons. I went for Minmus because that seemed like the easiest one, because it has really low gravity and is really close. Now, obviously, I didn't actually fly this here. I just used the Hyperedity tools in the cheat menu. But if you had enough space stations and a docking port on this, you could probably get here on, you know, as much fuel as we have. So I feel pretty confident this is a real use case for this vehicle, and in fact, I'm going to try and take this to lathe, like, legitimately, and that may be a future video because I hate myself. You can see we handle landing pretty easily. We get a little bouncy, but it's got suspension, and, you know, it's only 70 tons worth of ship. What's the worst that could happen landing on these tiny little wheels? But yeah, handled Minmus pretty easily, and I'm pretty confident. Actually, I'm almost certain it has enough Delta V to get here, and then probably dock with a space station, and then refuel, and then do the landing. So yeah, I'm thinking this is just a jack of all trades. You know, stop building craft, everyone. We've got the best one. You need a ship, you got this. You need a plane, you got this. You need a fucking planetary lander or a rover, you got this. You need a space station, just stick some crew cabins on it. It's bloody gigantic. This is the ultimate vehicle. I think I've won KSP. I'm joking. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this dumbass thing turned out. Anyway, I try and stand on the deck as we drive around, but friction isn't implemented in KSP, which is really annoying. Well, friction between Kerbals and parts. That'd be cool. 1.4.6 or 1.5 or whatever. A little bit of friction on the parts. I know that'd be a really hard thing to implement, but just allow me to stand on a moving vehicle with a Kerbal. That'd be really cool. If the devs are watching and being like, why did we make this game? Why did he make a boat SSTO car? Yeah. Anyway, I get a little overzealous with my power slide and sort of roll it, and then I'm like, fuck it, peace out, motherfucker, I'm taking off. And then I think, wouldn't it be cool to have a shipwreck on Minmus? And then Mission Control's like, no, that wouldn't be cool. And I'm like, oh, it'll be cool. And they're like, no, dude, don't do that. And we're like, oh, we're going to crash into the ground. It's going to be lit. And then we do. And then we flip a bit. And we kind of smash this giant 70-ton boat, plane, car. But I'm pretty happy because after a little bit more tumbling, a little bit more stuff breaking off, we end up with a shipwreck and a car crash and a plane crash on Minmus in one mission. I'd call that efficiency. That's a lot of crashes to have in one mission. I mean, this could do everything. Anyway, then the Kerbals get out and celebrate, and I contemplate what the hell I'm doing with my life. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I know this is weird and just stupid and not really what I usually do on this channel, but I'm going to do more of it because I really like this kind of stuff, and if you like it, I'll make some more dumb videos with other stupid inventions. I have some cooler ones than the ultimate vehicle, you know. I have some cool ideas, so yeah, let me know. Anyway, like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this. I know I have. This has been KSP with Tape. I will see you next time.